The topic I chose to discuss is the ethical issues surrounding the allocation of human organs and the controversies involved in determining who gets the transplants before others. Recent articles have discussed this issue in the case of the Zika virus that is currently going on. There has been evidence that the virus would attack a newly received organ and has interfered with patients receiving organs who have traveled from affected areas. This was also a topic of concern in a news story in 2013 that took place in Atlanta, Georgia. It involved an unruly teenager who was in critical need of a heart transplant. Due to his wild nature, history of run-ins with the law, and a determination that he would have poor compliance, he was not considered a good candidate for the heart transplant. The teen ended up dying. Stories like this and many others put people at opposing sides in deciding if doctors should be allowed to separate the saints from the sinners in regards to organ recipients. This issue is also seen in the case of alcoholics needing liver transplant. Is it ethical to give precious, high-demand organs to someone who has caused harm to their own and may do it again? Or should all patients be treated equally on a first-come, first-served basis? The dilemma is to decide who determines who is worthy of organs and who is not. Although there are many factors that go into determining the allocation of organs, controversial elements include survival benefit and the status of a patient being a previously living donor. Some agree that these types of patients should take priority in receiving transplants, and again, some think there should be no discrimination. Ethical issues discussed include utility, justice, and respect for persons or autonomy. Utility is used in a medical definition, means who will make the most efficient use of a highly scarce resource. Human organs are in high demand, and the current system helps to ensure they are put to good use. Justice is the principle of fair and equal treatment for all. This ethical issue goes against the current ranking system of worthy recipients. Another ethical issue involved with organ transplantation is the respect for autonomy. In the case of donors, each patient has the right to decide what is done with his or her body. This can pose dilemmas when a patient passes away and states they only want to give their organs to a certain person or group. This may bring up issues of racism or prejudice if an organ is denied to a certain patient due to the donor's wishes. According to the American Nurses Association Code of Ethics, Provision 1 states that the nurse, in all professional relationships, practices with compassion and respect for the inherent dignity, worth, and uniqueness of every individual, unrestricted by considerations of social or economic status, personal attributes, or the nature of health problems. Despite a nurse's personal opinions on the topic of organ allocation, they must treat all patients with the same level of respect and care to the best of their ability. This topic also concerns nurses because we have the responsibility to educate patients on the donation of organs, what the process involves, and how they can save another person's life. Using Pertillo and Doherty's 6-step process of ethical decision-making, nurses can make sound decisions when faced with the dilemmas surrounding the issue of organ transplantation. Step 1 is to gather all information. What are the laws regarding organ donation and recipients? What qualities does the patient have that make them a good candidate for a donation or transplant? Step 2 is to identify the type of ethical problem. Moral dilemmas can occur when a patient or family refuses to donate organs to save lives. A nurse must never coerce or guilt a patient into becoming an organ donor. Step 3 is to use ethics theories to analyze the problem. Using the theory of deontology, the nurses have the duty to uphold organ donation policies, as well as to protect the patients involved in providing the best care possible, including education on donating and receiving organs. Step 4 is to explore the practical alternatives. In this topic, nurses have the choice on how to act when following the state and federal policies regarding organ recipients. Although nurses don't have much say in who moves up on the list, they may be a part of a committee that assists with these decisions. It would be unethical for a nurse to exaggerate the severity of a situation in order for their preferable patient to move up on a list. In steps 5 and 6, we complete the action and evaluate the outcome. After going ahead with the decision, it is important for nurses to reflect on what went well or not, and to share the results with other colleagues so that it may assist with their decision-making in the future. Although it seems like nurses don't have much choice in decisions on organ allocation, we are a vital part of the healthcare team and must be informed of the ethical considerations surrounding the topic.